Boom shakalaka, what's going on, everybody? I am joined today by Chris Dahl, the CEO of Effect.AI. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Crypto Love. Thank you very much for having me on the show, man. Really honored, and it's my pleasure to be here today. Thanks.
Dude, it's absolutely awesome to have you. We were chatting a little bit beforehand. It was fun. We both have beards. This is going to be a good one.
All right.
Awesome. So we're going to get into Effect.AI and the Effect Network. But before we do, just real quickly, tell everyone about yourself, how you got into blockchain, AI, all that stuff.
All right, fantastic. So name is Chris Dahl, like you said, CEO and co-founder of Effect.AI. I have a background that is scattered amongst many different things. I used to be a musician, and then I got into the corporate world and was in sales and marketing for a publicly traded company. I've been a professional kickboxer. I've done lots of stuff, but as I was living out in the jungles of Thailand, I actually found Bitcoin in early 2014, and then I moved to Australia and I got really into the scene, and it really opened up Pandora's box like it does for a lot of us. And I started trading cryptocurrencies on Poloniex, good old Poloniex, when they had the troll box and everything else going on. And that's kind of how I started making my living. And then as I was researching projects and looking into crypto projects, I just started to fall in love more and more with the technology. And I had some really close friends that were in technology building, mainly AI development and really high-end digital platforms. And so I connected with these guys, asked them some of their problems in the AI field. I said, listen, is there any kind of a match with blockchain and artificial intelligence? And then we looked at Amazon's Mechanical Turk and how they started charging. You know, they used to charge 2 to 3% to put tasks onto their platform, and these tasks are obviously for people to annotate data, so you can structure data sets in a way that you can create AI and ML services. And now they're charging 21 to 45%, and we said this is a perfect application for blockchain, and that's kind of how it was born about a year ago. And now we're coming up to releasing our own decentralized Mechanical Turk platform.
Awesome. I mean, I got very jealous listening to your history because you were living in Thailand. I got very, very jealous of that, and also some of the other stuff. But Mechanical Turk, so that's something that's an important concept for people to understand, just to kind of get the idea of Effect.AI. And you guys did a very good video on what is a Mechanical Turk, because actually I didn't know before that. So
yeah,
it's very cool. It came from like chess, like a mechanical chess thing.
Yeah, absolutely incredible story. So back, I think 1700s, there was a Turing machine that was very much like a robot, but obviously there was no such thing as a robot back then. And it was just this big wooden structure that was shaped as a Turk. You know, it looked like a Turk, had the big long beard and the headdress and everything.
Kind of like us with a headdress.
Yeah, exactly, with the headdress on there, you know, a little bit more of a longer mustache. And so this machine would move automatically by itself, or so it seemed. And it was picking up chess pieces and moving them around. And it was actually beating some master chess players. So it was really interesting. It was a spectacle. Everybody was thinking, like, well, what is this black magic voodoo kind of stuff? Like, wow, it's really incredible. But turns out there was a little man in the bottom who happened to be a master chess player. And he was actually, you know, he was manning the machine. And that's kind of where this thing was born. So it's kind of a human influencing a machine, or in those regards. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting backstory. And obviously Amazon took that story and named their platform Amazon Mechanical Turk, which is just a human workforce on demand to annotate and structure data and do these micro tasks that are very vital for AI and machine learning.
Mm-hmm. And kind of to extrapolate it where I think more people could understand it, it can almost be similar to something like Fiverr, where you have other people do work for you, but that's on a larger scale.
It's fantastic that you bring that up. So yeah, there's all kinds of different microtask marketplaces and freelance marketplaces out there. So with our platform, we're a protocol that eventually in the next few months, people are going to be able to build whatever they want onto our platform. And you can use our EFX token to actually exchange those values and those tasks. So whether it be Fiverr for freelance jobs, or it's just the little micro tasks of sorting receipts or sorting things in your business where you've hired a few people, your business is growing, and you have people, you're just wasting that human resource within your company. You can outsource that to a Mechanical Turk. So you connect via API to EffectForce, our decentralized Mechanical Turk, and you just shove all of your data in there and you get that structured. But in the future, people can build whatever they want, whether it be surveys or an exact copy of Fiverr. So you can take away all of their big fees that they're charging and have a decentralized Fiverr on our platform, and it's powered by the EFX token. So we will have a DApp competition coming out in the next few months. So people are able to build these things. So just an interface, and in the back end, it's the Mechanical Turk. We have the global workforce on demand doing these microtasks from all over the world, and that's how it's going to work.
Yeah. And so you mentioned you're a protocol that's built on top of Neo. Any reason you chose Neo as opposed to other blockchains?
Yeah, well, listen, we all come from a tech background, especially the core founding members. And when we go out onto a venture, even just to build a website, never mind like an AI algorithm or something more complex, we do several weeks of research so we know that we do things right. We obviously looked into Ethereum. We met with Max of Lisk. We looked at BitShares, and we looked at a whole bunch of different applications out there and said, what works best for us? We were looking for something that had a higher transaction per second, and Neo seemed to be the case. I will say that we are blockchain agnostic. I mean, we don't know who's going to be the winner here, who's going to be the top dog. So if there ever is a time that Neo does not work out for us, we will migrate to another blockchain, because the technology, I mean, within our white paper, there's no mention of a specific protocol. So we just want to make sure, and I mean, blockchain and this industry is in its infancy. So we picked what made sense to us. We went out to Shanghai and we met with the core members of Neo. We thought this is a good match, and that the technology will work for us. So we're pretty confident in our choice, and yeah, so that's it.
Awesome. So that is great. So despite whatever happens with whatever blockchain may win in the long term, Effect.AI will still be around.
Yeah, no matter what happens, Effect.AI, really, and not to be egotistical, but this project we feel is pretty damn important to the world. So yeah, a protocol will not get into the way of Effect.AI or EffectForce or the Effect Network.
Awesome. So now let's find out, what is the Effect Network?
So the Effect Network is a three-phase overlapping a project. So our artificial intelligence developers that had been building these algorithms for quite some time, they started to find that there's several different problems within the artificial intelligence development currently. So we looked at the first thing. So we used Amazon Mechanical Turk to annotate data for our machine learning algorithms to be able to give to big corporations. Like I said, 4 years ago, they're charging 2-3%. Now they're charging 40%. They're really pushing out all of the small players so they can just get rid of all of them so they can have this and hoard this to themselves. So we said this is unacceptable. We heard of universities cutting programs because it's too expensive. So now we can do these courses with these universities with our platform, because we'll never charge any fees. So the first phase is our decentralized Mechanical Turk to annotate data, structure any type of data so you can automate systems within your organization, your business, or what have you. You can create any algorithm by structuring data with our platform. So another problem that we work with big corporations here in the Netherlands, and we've worked with several with our algorithms, incorporating them into their back-end systems and working with our algorithms. But anytime we developed one, we would have to call up individually and say, hey guys, we have an incredible algorithm. We think you'll love it. We want to come by and demo it. And that's how we were doing business. There was no place online to put these AI algorithms or services. And so we thought, okay, so the next stage of Mechanical Turk, people are developing these algorithms. They now have a cost-effective way to build these algorithms. We need to give them a platform to release this to the world. So our algorithms, if we had like an app store where anybody could come to the app store and find our algorithm, we could have been a lot more successful in getting that out. So our second phase is called the Effect Smart Market. So it's just an app store for AI algorithms, AI services, and anything related to AI. So all AI algorithms will have their own identifier, and they'll have their own wallet address. So the creator of that algorithm will place it into the smart market, and anybody can purchase that license or purchase that service peer to algorithm. What's very interesting about this is we figured out within our white paper, if you read that white paper, that algorithms will now be able to collaborate and communicate with other algorithms because they will have their own wallets, so their own identity to be able to trade off stuff. This doesn't mean they go rogue and they start communicating by themselves.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Of course, everybody says Skynet, it's taking over. Yes, it will happen, and we're encouraging that and enabling that. But algorithms by their owners will be able to search out the network and be able to find people that they can collaborate with. So if you look at Google or you look at Amazon, you'll never see them collaborate on these initiatives ever. They want to keep this to themselves so they can release these products to their people. So with the smart market, we can catch up to these big dogs, and we can do it really fast by all of the AI community below that level of those big corporations collaborating on the smart market and working together to catch up to those guys and basically wipe those boys out. And then, so another problem that we saw is that as AI gets more advanced, the computational power is costing more and more and more. So it's very labor intensive. There's lots of computational calculations going on in these algorithms. So for our third and final phase of the Effect Network, it's going to be a global supercomputer, much like Gollum, but directly related to running AI algorithms. So you will have your extra computing power on your computer or wherever you might have a mining device that's not profitable anymore, and you can offer that into the global supercomputer, and anybody can tap into that and draw that energy to run algorithms. So no one point of failure. You know, if you know, half the world shuts down, you still have that backup of that global supercomputer to run algorithms for the rest of the time. So this is where algorithms will live, they will stay, and be able to run without any kind of a shutdown or problem.
That's awesome. And I mean, what you mentioned with the smart market and people being able to work together to build faster than Amazon and Google and all of them, yeah, I definitely see that possible, because we see the same thing happening with Bitcoin, just being a decentralized protocol. It's building up faster. All these governments want to still hold their dollar, and guess what? It's still going all across the world. They can't stop it.
Well, that's it, man. And that's the whole point of this decentralization. And thank you very much to Satoshi Nakamoto for creating this incredible technology, because we really can take down the borders. So what's really important with our EffectForce, our decentralized mechanical Turk, it's borderless. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter if US has a government sanction against your country. It doesn't matter about politics or any of that stuff. If you have a Wi-Fi connection, you can get onto our platform and you can make a real living on the EffectForce and on the Effect Network, you know? So it's really important technology. Amazon, again, just to refer to some of the problems with their thing, there's almost every African country cannot participate. So these countries that really need this type of work, these developing countries that are looking for these resources, we had the promise of the internet to connect everybody, but now we're regulating it. We're you know, taking people out. You know, governments are you know, regulating and censoring their internet. So with the Effect Network, anybody can take part. And what's really exciting is that we're incorporating now, this wasn't in our white paper, but as projects develop and move on, we come up with these ideas, and we started working with our advisor, Sally Eves. She's connected to the UN. So what we're doing is we're going to create impact hubs. We call them impact hubs or hubs. And we're going to start in Uganda, Kenya, Nepal, and Pakistan. And these are just safe facilities for people to come work, learn what our platform is, and not just work on our platform and create a living, but we'll also have other things there that Sally Eves is very interested in. So types of education, social activities, all kinds of stuff are going to be built out of these hubs. So we're really trying to pay it forward and make this a feasible thing for anybody in the world to be able to work on. And because we don't charge fees on the network, and we're truly a decentralized network, or working towards that. A lot of people say decentralized, but there's a business model and they're making profit. There's no fees on our network. We're setting this up in a way that it will run itself all over the world, just like Bitcoin, where anybody can take part and take full advantage of the entire amount that's being exchanged, instead of some intermediary taking their fees. So we're really excited about these impact hubs, and we're working closely with a couple of governments to start this off. So yeah, very exciting stuff.
Wow, that sounds extraordinary. And what came to my mind when you were talking about that is just that here are these 2 billion unbanked people in countries that can't even get a bank account, but they have access to a smartphone or a mobile phone. Now all of a sudden they can work, they can earn money, which they couldn't do in their country, and they can store that money in cryptocurrencies on their phone. Totally set.
Yes, it's absolutely phenomenal. Like with taking away those fees and also having some tokens for incentives, we can bring wages from $5 to $7 to $10 an hour, which is a game changer from all over the place. I lived in Thailand for several years. They're used to making $4 to $5 per day. If they're making $5 or $6 per hour, it is incredibly life-changing to these people. And as companies, and when I talk about structuring data, all companies are holding on to their data and they don't know exactly how to get started with their AI initiative for their business. They don't know how to incorporate this. A mechanical Turk platform, especially a decentralized one with no fees, is a great beginning point to really just put your data in and start to experiment how you can automate different parts of your system. So this will continue to grow. It's a massive, massive billion-dollar market. And because we're at the forefront of these types of technologies, really, truly, the big guys can't compete with us. They can't do it. Amazon's already offered a partnership with us, and we told them to beat it. I wake up every morning to compete against these giants. So that's it. And just to go back to the impact hubs, because I'm talking about Amazon again, we found out some very concerning things about how their platform is managed. There are Mechanical Turk farms in India where there's a bunch of kids working on this platform where one guy is collecting all the money from these kids and giving them peanuts, to work on the system. So that's why the Impact Hub is a very important part of our project to make sure it's safe, secure, and a fair place for people to be able to work, so we can just watch and make sure that there's none of this stuff. When I reached out to Amazon to ask what they're doing about these Mechanical Turk farms, they said it's not their problem. It's absolutely incredible. This dude, Jeff Bezos, has $110 billion, and stuff like this is happening because of him, and he's doing nothing. So we will fix all of those problems. There's so many problems, and yeah, it's a big task to do, but we're cleaning up that mess and doing the best we can.
That's awesome. I love that. Changing the world in a positive note. Definitely. So EffectForce just launched ahead of schedule, and
yeah.
That's basically your Mechanical Turk, which is competing with Amazon's Mechanical Turk. I think we've kind of discussed mostly how you're going to do it, and you have a good illustration in your white paper which just compares the two and shows that yours is available in every single country. Amazon is only available in like 40 countries. But do you have a specific plan for how you, because talking with you, it's obvious that Effect.AI is going to blow the pants off of Amazon Mechanical Turk, but do you have a plan for how you're going to actually do it and convince other people?
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is a very simple job for us. There's thousands of people already using Mechanical Turk. We're blowing up on a whole bunch of Mechanical Turk worker platforms where people are lining up to pre-register. So we already have pre-registered 4,000 workers on our workforce. And yeah, we launched Thursday, the 28th of June. So that was the most exciting time. And actually, I thought it was way ahead of schedule, but it was only a couple days. We said second quarter.
Still ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule, we did it. And it's been hundreds, if not thousands of hours of programming and sorting this stuff out. So the main goal right now with any platform, especially this type of a platform, is the equilibrium of the launch. So right now we selected 610 workers that pre-registered to take part in our private beta testing. So this is going to be private. It's not going to be public. You can't register and work on the platform right away, but these 610 workers are going to be helping us, giving us feedback, making sure everything on it is in its place. We've been doing alpha testing for the last month. Everything looks good, but we need the feedback from these people. So over the next few weeks, we will introduce more workers as we introduce more requesters. We have a lot of partnerships that we haven't announced, really exciting stuff coming up in the future, where these companies are going to be able to connect to our EffectForce via API and just keep on shoving data in and creating tasks for these people. So the equilibrium of getting the right amount of workers so we don't have people waiting on tasks, and the right amount of requesters that aren't waiting on getting their data back because there's not enough workers. We're going to control this for the first few months, maybe 6-8 months. And once we get to a large size where everybody's being able to put their tasks on by themselves and all the workers are registering by themselves, then we release it to the world and we allow everybody to take part in the way that they want to take part.
Awesome. Perfect. So you mentioned a couple partnerships. Amazon, which you turned down, which I think is awesome. And then I think you should put that on your website. Just have Amazon with a big X through it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I do a lot of interviews about Amazon where I curse a lot. So yeah, it's out there already, my dislike from the company.
Perfect. And then Civic, you have a partnership. So how are you working with Civic?
So Civic is a very, it's a mandatory part of our technology. So we were looking into identity protocols. So a lot of the tasks on Mechanical Turk, and same with the initiation of our platform, they're going to be very simple human intelligence tasks, you know, sorting pictures, you know, and transcribing audio files and stuff. So pretty simple stuff. But as things get more complex, so let's say just for an example, the World Health Organization gets in touch with us, says, listen, we want to be able to identify brain cancer a lot faster. We want to build an algorithm. So we have all of these brain charts, and we need somebody to identify, you know, small tumors, medium-sized tumors, big tumors, so we can have some kind of an algorithm that can catch this faster. Obviously, you can't just have anybody annotating that data. You're going to need somebody highly qualified. So what Civic does, they have a marketplace of validators that validate documents to prove what you've done. So what's excellent here is that we'll be able to look at the platform and know that these people have these credentials to be able to work on more advanced tasks. It's also great for just a normal KYC and identity protocol to make sure a person is a person and that they're doing their thing. So it was absolutely phenomenal. We have an advisor, Charlie Shrem, which I think most people are familiar with. And he actually connected me to Vinny Liggum, gave me his phone number, which was very intimidating, Vinny Liggum being on the Shark Tank and everything else. So getting to talk to him and discuss with him, there was many different protocols out there, but Civic, way ahead of the game compared to every single person in the blockchain space. Obviously, they're built on Ethereum. We're built on Neo. We're both blockchain agnostic. We can do and be anywhere at any time. If we choose, obviously harder for us because we'll have to migrate if we choose to do so. But they're very proud of that. We can integrate them into any system that we build. So it's perfect. It's a great partnership for us. And they're great with communication. Absolutely phenomenal. We're still communicating all the time. Our marketing teams are working together all the time. So absolutely phenomenal team over there.
Awesome. And also noted you're just listed on Bitmart, and also you're available on Switch.io as well.
Yeah, so we actually have a few announcements coming up. I will hint at one. Yesterday, Huobi came to Amsterdam with their Huobi Summit, which was a quant trading event just talking about all of the new products that Huobi have. They contacted me to be the moderator of the event. So I was there yesterday meeting with the who's who. People flew in from all over the world. So I have a very good connection with them. They're opening up offices in Amsterdam. They have another office in London. They're taking over the world. I did a video recently that said when Huobi, so we're going to flip the script on this when Binance thing and let people know that Huobi's the real #1 player. So Huobi's there. Bitmart, we just got listed on Bitmart. We have a LA token that's coming up or LA token that's coming up in a few days, I think. So yeah, we're there. We're in talks with Bitfinex. And so, yeah, things are going in the right direction when it comes to exchanges. But if you guys are looking for somewhere to purchase tokens right now, Geo are live and running and kicking our tokens around all the time. So yeah, get them while they're hot.
Awesome. And then just real fast, explain how the token works in your ecosystem, because you have a pool and you have the EFX token, but then you have a GEFX token, and yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's the Galaxy Pool. The important part of that technology, and I won't get too much in depth because Paulina, our YouTube girl, she is going to do an extensive video on what the Galaxy Pool is and what purposes it serves. So it's a liquidity market for workers. Obviously, these workers are making a living on this platform. This is how they make a living. And the cryptocurrency markets are fluctuating like crazy. So it's a stability marketplace for workers to be able to cash out of. Investors that want to use our platform will pull out of our Galaxy Pool, which are non-tradable tokens. So they can only use them within our token. You can't buy and purchase from here. But for every GEFX that's in the Galaxy Pool, there's a real EFX out there. So once they use that token within our platform, within the smart contract, they can put it in the smart contract. Once that smart contract executes, then from the Galaxy Pool, comes that EFX to the worker. So that's how that works. That's not integrated into the system quite yet. By the end of the year, that will be fully functional. And that's kind of how the Galaxy pool works. But when it comes to EFX, it's pretty basic concept. It all is run and managed by our token. So a requester obviously has to make a payment request to get somebody to do a microtask for them. They put that into a smart contract. Once that smart contract executes because the worker did the task, the payment is delivered automatically and right away. So this is another thing that we found in the Mechanical Turk with Amazon. They were paying their guys 7 to 21 days. It was going through different banking systems, so it was losing value all the way along the way, 40% charging the requester. So once it gets to those workers, they're getting like $1 an hour. So with our platform, we're very, very confident that we can get wages up to, anywhere from $5 to $10. And when more advanced tasks are on there, they can make considerable amounts more. So we also have a reputation system within the platform as well. So the better you do and the more work you do and the more quality work you do, the better reputation system. So that will open up special jobs for you, higher paying jobs on our platform.
Awesome. Yeah, I noted that how that helps prevent people from just spamming the network with really bad work.
Yes, you'll get kicked off extremely fast if you're doing bad work. So if there's bad actors on the platform, we have what's called grand truths. So just random tasks in there that are obvious tasks. And if you're answering those ones wrong a few times, your reputation score will go out and you risk getting booted off. And because we're working with digital identities, once you're booted off, you're going to have to get your mom to sign up for you again. And hopefully that time you learned your lesson and you don't do bad work.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so I guess anything else? What have you got upcoming? Anything else I didn't discuss on this?
No, well, with the smart market, because things are moving very fast with the decentralized Mechanical Turk platform, EffectForce, we are working about 80% of our development team, which is over 16 developers right now, are working on the smart market right now. So we promised people that we would release that in the first half of 2019, and we will deliver. We have some pretty cool partnerships to announce. We have a lot of people that are building algorithms that are very, very excited. We've been contacting and connecting with all types of people from all over the world. So yeah, Effect Smart Market is underway. We have some designs that we might share with people over the next few weeks because things are going very fast in that regard. We recently partnered with True Blocks out of South Korea, so we're really taking the Asian market. We will be at Rise Festival in mid-July or beginning of July, 7th to the 14th or 9th to the 14th in Hong Kong, where we're looking at office space, and we will open up an office in Hong Kong as well to make sure that we get that Asian hub to make sure that the partnerships keep on coming in globally. And then our impact hubs, like we talked about, those are the most exciting things for me to be able to help, developing countries. That's my biggest passion. I lived in Thailand in a small village for many years, and just to be able to take part and give some kind of a resource to these people to better their lives is really the biggest part for me. So really excited about our impact hubs and working with different organizations and governments to make this happen in a big, good way.
Well, Chris, that sounds awesome. I'm very excited about it. I know I can tell you're very excited about it.
I'm excited, man. I can't believe I get to work on such a project, man. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world. I work 20 hours a day, but not 1 second is work. I love everything I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're definitely doing something to change the world, and I love hearing that in the blockchain space. So thank you so much for joining me today on this interview. Thank you for sharing all that information with us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I just need to say one last thing. Thank you very much to my community, the Effect.AI community, Telegram, Twitter, and on all our socials. You guys are the greatest people ever. I know that we're in a bit of a bear market, and you guys aren't budging at all. And I from the bottom of my heart, I love every single one of you guys. I can't say it enough. I say it every time I do a video. Our Telegram community and our supporters behind the project. A quick note, we had 5,500 people contribute into our token sale from over 123 countries. A lot of them are active. They're just building up the awareness of our project. So just a shout out to everybody that's taking part with the Effect.AI team, and we appreciate every second. And I've always promised to get back to every single one of you guys. So anybody that reaches out, you can guarantee I will get back to you, even though it's about 100 people a day right now. I will continue to do it, even if it's 10,000 a day. So I'm here for you all.
That is awesome, Chris. Thank you so much, and we'll see you around, all right?
Yes, crypto love. Thanks, man. Take care. See you, man.